So, new PS Vita games not allowed past this summer? Ha! Fine then, we'll just make our own. Well, the homebrew developers will. I'll just play them. I feel kinda guilty saying it that way. Greetings, fellow Vita fans, this is James with PS Vita at 2 AM, coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, even the unofficial dark side version of it, don't forget to subscribe. And visiting the dark side we shall, because today's topic is all about my top 5 highly anticipated homebrew games that are candidates to be coming for the PS Vita sometime in the future. And I would love to hear from you guys. What games are you highly anticipating that are homebrew that are going to be upcoming for the Vita? Make sure to tell me down in the comments section. I may or may not steal your choices, I haven't decided yet. Now this list of course comes from Rin's official list of Android games that are possible for the PS Vita. And for anybody who hasn't seen this list, I will have a link down in the description. And the following games I'm going to mention are all possible candidates to be new homebrew games. Here's my first pick. What's that you say? Still waiting for Half-Life 3 to debut? I think most of us are at this point. Starting to think that game is a myth or maybe even possibly a legend. But while we're waiting for that, how does a port of Half-Life 2 on the Vita sound for you on the go? Yeah, I'm definitely game, and I think I have just soiled myself with just the thought of this game being on the Vita. Man, I have so many fond memories of this. Half-Life 2 sends a shock through the game industry with its combination of pounding action and continuous immersive storytelling. Now, by taking the suspense, challenge, and versatile charge of the original and adding startling new realism and responsiveness, Half-Life 2 opens the door to a world where the player's presence affects everything around them, from the physical environments to the behaviors, even the emotion of both friends and enemies. And I remember back in the day when I first played this game, it really did feel for the first time in my life that I wasn't playing an actual video game, but was part of a living, breathing world. Yeah, this is the first game that made me feel that way, and looking at it today, I mean, of course, yeah, it can't live up to the polygon counts that we have from newer games, but still, back in the day, this was truly something special. And having it on the Vita, I really hope it comes. Hey, I don't soil myself for just any game, you know. Well, with the exception, of course, of this one too. Well, actually, all 5 of these games I would soil myself for. Next game I'd love to see get the Vita treatment is Ducktales Remastered. Oh yeah, we're heading the Disney route now, folks. That didn't really seem that manly now, does it? Well, anyway, this game is based off of the original NES game, but is completely overhauled, has voice acting, and an actual storyline, which, yeah, the original NES ones kinda sorta did, but it was really just mostly at the end. And for those people who are lucky enough to have an instruction manual. Kind of the whole NES dilemma back in the day. But my crippling age aside, I personally would love to see this on the Vita because it is really well known for its fun platforming action, which would fit perfectly on the handheld. Wouldn't take up a whole lot of time, just a quick pick up and play game here. And while this version they did admittedly make it a lot more linear than the original NES game was, it still was a fantastic experience. Though Rin, if you are listening, is there any way you can make the storyline mode for this game optional? Because I remember in the original HD remaster, they kind of got in the way of gameplay, so that's just a personal request from me. But either way, if this was to come to the Vita, I'd be one happy camper. My camper would be happy. Now, if only we could get a new Tailspin game just in general. That was my favorite Disney afternoon cartoon, and I realize I'm in the minority in that, so let's just continue. I can't be the only one who wants this, right? Going right down the list here, how does a Vita port of KOTOR 2, Knights of the Old Republic, or Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, it's been so long I keep forgetting the whole abbreviation thing, sound to you for the Vita? I remember this game back in the day. This was a huge deal, and I really couldn't believe it because I was like, well, it's a Star Wars game, so I knew it was going to be pretty good quality, but the way this blew up back then, I was really shocked. I heard people who were not even into video games, let alone turn-based games, talking about this title. And for good reason too. It has a solid combat, an excellent storyline, and it really does make you feel like you're in the Star Wars universe. And just between me and you, from what I've been hearing as of late, it seems that KOTOR 2 could be a real possibility as being the next big release for the homebrew community of the Vita. We're hearing that there's a lot of interest for this game with the developers that are trying to port it over to the Vita, so let's see how this turns out. It could be the next big solid release after Bully. Being able to fight with lightsabers on the John, that would be a dream come true for me. And yes, I mean that in the most literal of sense. Yeah, I have some very ambitious dreams now, don't I? Okay, next choice is Dragon Quest VIII, and how could I honestly not choose an epic game such as this? I know that Dragon Quest is slowly starting to be building up more and more of a fan base here in the West, whereas back in the day it didn't really have as much staying power as it does now. But ever since Dragon Quest VIII came out, and I feel a lot of people feel the same way back on the PS2, it really ignited my love for Dragon Quest. True, I had played some of the entries in the past before, but it wasn't until this game where I truly fell in love with the franchise. Now, I do realize here that some people might feel a bit hesitant with this choice just because the PS Vita has gotten so many RPGs officially in the past. Seriously, do we really need another one? Answer to that? Yes. Yes, we do. But we've never actually had one of the official Dragon Quest games, at least in the traditional sense, on the Vita. We did get builders and whatnot, but it would really be awesome to have one of the main staples in the series. And I got 2 words for you. Jessica. That's 1 word, dude. Tell me, have you ever had a dream about being Leon from the Resident Evil series and constantly having Ashley scream out your name on the go? What? Oh, you haven't? Well, you might unintentionally be getting your non-wish, because Resident Evil 4, the mobile version of the game, is a candidate for being a future homebrew release. And hey, we always have the option to turn the volume all the way down. I definitely did back on the GameCube. Now, if you've ever played the RE4 mobile version, which I have briefly anyway at Best Buy, I did it when the employees weren't looking, you'll find out that it's a pretty watered down version from the original RE4 that came out on the GameCube, PS2, and whatnot. As expected, of course. Now, some of you out there may be saying, but James, we already have a ton of RE4 ports out there in the wild. Do we really need yet another one? And to you, I say, yeah, you actually have a good point there. But hey, if all of those systems can get it, why can't the PS Vita? Because we're just unoriginal like that. As well as desperate for more RE games. Or at least I am. That'll just about do it. Those are my top 5 picks for potential homebrew games that hopefully will be coming on the Vita. Now keep in mind, everyone, that these are only candidates for what could be possible. We're still not 100% sure if these games will in fact be coming. It's really up to the homebrew developers to see if it's possible or not. So crossing fingers that they all are. Remember again, I will have Rin's list down in the description so you can check out the list for yourself. There's a lot of other games on there. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. This video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people who help make this content possible, including Alan Iwazuk, Shin Snake, Joseph Razmick, Frayden, Zikrito, Robert Johnson, Bushin Ryu Cat, Milk Sama, Neo Arashi, Reiko Star, Matt Fox, B Mystery, Makis Blob, Hero Acer, BMF, Phantom XRS, Gutter Drums, Hemdall Imbert, Saul Ramirez, Clayton Merlarkey, Adam Sondi, David Ray, Sculpture Tugel TCG, Rodrigo Vera, Larry Anderson, Wendy K, Adam Theory, Aaron Swanson, H-Hitter, Per Sterner, Heston Joseph, Jelle, E-Rock, Kevin Enright, Laurie Sweeney, JR, Jared Haddo, Richard Cruz, Kyle Brooks, Joshua Williams, PS Vita S, Matt Hargett, Mazgus, Tasha Monty, Eric DeWitt, Juan M. Hermosillo, Burzin Mystery, Hector Gonzalez, Smug Wolf, Sakib Alam, 1488 Dental, Azumara, Nintendo Switch at 2 AM, Donut Valley, Romp King, Dr. Super Artie, Robert Sylvester, Michael O'Connor, Ricardo Martinez, Colossus, Crazy Cat, and Jamie. If you would be interested in supporting the channel and seeing your name on this end screen here, or if you wish to remain anonymous, that can be provided too, then make sure to check the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to do this down there. Can't support in this manner? Don't worry about it. Likes and shares can help equally as much. Warning, the following video is not Sony approved. Please don't tell them that we made this video.